Get it in your head. It can be a little bit warmer, not a whole lot warmer. This is my wake-up temperature. Not real warm, a little warm, but it can be a little warmer. It can be, yeah.
So my kids are warmer.
A little warm. A little.
Well, my kids tend to come out of bed to hot.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Now, you can go a little warmer than this, okay? A little bit, but not a lot. Just so when you stick your finger in there, you think warm. Just a little warm, okay? All right. So now my recipe, open up to your cracked wheat recipe is where we are right now.
How much water did you put in there?
This is 2 cups, but you're not doing that much. Your cracked wheat recipe, I can't remember, you're slim.
Half a cup.
Okay, so now to wake up my yeast, all I'm gonna do is just, I'm getting it wet. This is called softening your yeast, okay? There we go. It's softening. How do you know? We're gonna look at it in a minute and you're gonna see what it should look like. If you wonder if your yeast is too old, test it, okay? Now, so I've got my good hot water right here. I'm gonna pour this in my mixer. I'm gonna put my dough hook in there. Now, if you don't have a mixer, all you're gonna do is whatever you're putting in, you're gonna hold back, the last of the flour goes in at the very end. You stir it up with a spoon. When you can't stir it with a spoon anymore, you put it on your kitchen counter and you knead it. You knead that last flour into it. It's that simple. You don't need a mixer. I would be exhausted if I didn't have a mixer, okay? Now I need, for this recipe, I've got 1 cup of butter. I'm thinking this is a 6 ouncer. So now my butter here, don't use margarine in your bread. That would be insane. Margarine is a food. If you're gonna make real food from scratch, use real food, okay? So I'm putting in a cup of butter into mine, okay? And I need a cup and a half of honey. Now you can follow my recipe in the beginning. Once you get into the program and start making bread, you're gonna wanna start playing with it. Like as an example, my carrot wheat bread. I won't give you that recipe, but I'm gonna tell you how you can reach things like this, okay? So this is a cup and a half. Now of course there's still some honey in there. We're gonna kinda eyeball it, okay? Bread is a recipe, no doubt about it. It's an art. Once you get that back, everything gets easier, okay? Okay, so we got about a cup and a half of honey in there. You could use, if you don't have honey, you can use agave. Now, I don't know what your changes are in your agave versus your sugar and stuff. They probably have a conversion chart on there, I'm guessing, okay? But I don't use it. It's pricey. I can afford it. So anyway, I'm going to give that a little mix. Now this stuff, this is cracked wheat. It's really hard. Cracked wheat. This is literally cracked wheat. It's coarse, it's hard. You don't want to put something this coarse and hard into your bread because unless you soften it, we're going to soften it right now. There we go. In hot water. Exactly. That's why it's hot. Now your recipe may, I don't know how much I wrote on your recipe. No, I won't give you much information, but you don't need it. Okay, so there we go. This is going to be softening. A lot of times your recipe will tell you you have to wait. You don't have to wait. The reason is because as this is in here, it's good and hot in the bottom there, I can add some stuff on top. And it's not going to hurt it a bit because it's still going to be hot down below where I put that flour. I'm always in a hurry. I mean, I have to be. I've got a lot of work to do. They'll be hollering at me, we're down to 1 loaf of white bread. Well, wow, I better hurry, you know. I don't have time for dawdling around. So that's why I am the way I am. And I was like this way before this. This is just who I am. So, I want you to look at your recipe. So far, we have our yeast softening and our warm water. Go to the next. We got hot water, honey, we need salt. Salt is an interesting ingredient in bread. You don't need salt in bread. You don't need it at all, but you want it. If you are on a very restricted salt diet, my recipe says 6 teaspoons. You can add this much salt and get the science of it. What the salt does is it slows down your yeast. It controls it. okay? But it also does impart some flavor into your bread, okay? And this is not 16 foods, we all know that. That's all we're putting in there, okay? We get what we want out of it, okay? But we don't, there's none of us that's gonna drop dead from lack of salt. None of us. If you eat one processed food a week, you've got your salt. It is the truth, isn't it? Did you know? And I've been learning more and more. I just get more and more into food as I get older.